What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's currently a reason, but I think we're going to try to fix the oil pressure gauge hose that I melted when I was welding in the box for the distributor and the firewall. But I'll show you what's up with that here in a sec. First, I'm going to put the dollies back under the wheels and flip the truck back around and take the hood off in the upper part of the grill to make it easier to work on. It's pretty cramped and I like my back, but I'm going to do that, turn on the heater for a little bit because it's for a reason, but let's get to it. Alright, this is what we're working with. You can see the box I welded into the firewall for the big HEI. This motor mount kit does let you use a small HEI without having to modify the firewall at all, but the one I bought was having spark issues when it was in the block, so I got it warrantied out for a replacement, and that one was having the same issue. So I said screw it, get a big HEI, and it's working perfect. I got spark now. So this is what it is. Get what you pay for. But the issue I have is I melted the hose for the oil pressure gauge when I was welding in the box. So pretty easy to fix. The only thing that sucks is I'm going to have to take apart or drop the gauge cluster so I can get access to the other side of the hose. Luckily I was able to adapt it to the original one, which is pretty neat, but a little bit of a pain in the butt when you got to replace it. So I'm going to take care of that real quick. I'll bring you guys along for the ride. Okay, for anyone not familiar, hose kit, adapters. Essentially all it is a compression fitting. This guy goes on your actual hose, and these two pieces, as you tighten them, it compresses the compression fitting onto your hose and makes a good seal. These kits come with a couple different adapters usually to go into your intake manifold and then into your gauge. I actually had to buy two of them because I have a pretty unique setup that's adapted to actually run to my original gauge cluster, and that needed the same fitting that was going into the block, so I had to buy another one to get that other fitting. So this is actually the third one of these I've bought, which is fantastic. But I tend to run sealant in mine, just as an insurance, to make sure it doesn't leak, because no one likes oil leaks. This stuff is what I usually use. Permatex thread sealant with PTFE. Haven't had any issues, and it seems to work pretty well. But gonna fish this guy in, put my compression fitting on, and all that good stuff. Forgot how much of a pain in the ass that was. Not a very easy spot to get to on this truck. And now, ugh. It's gonna be even worse. Yay, halfway done. Ugh. Well, there. My hands are frozen. Alright, well, next was going to be trying to start this thing. Then I remembered I have no transmission cooler or cooler lines. So as soon as I try to fire it up, it's just going to spray transmission fluid everywhere. So I guess that's going to be next. Let's go pick up a cheap one for now and some hose. I'll show you guys that. Stay tuned. Alright guys, it's been a few days since the first part of this video, but I think we're about ready to see if this thing will fire up. This carburetor is a bit of an unknown, and the distributor is not set up, the timing's not set, so all I'm trying to do is to see if this thing will fire and build oil pressure. I'm expecting it not to run well, but I've made a temporary transmission line and looped it back to itself, so there's no cooler, but it's not going to be running for long, so it'll be fine. Just going to put some fuel in the float bowls and see what happens. I have a little starter button hooked up back there. I'm going to turn the ignition on, so let's see what happens. Well, as you can see, with the distributor cap off, things weren't going well. Somehow my timing is way off. Number 1 is where number 8 should be, or not, more like number 4. So I need to fix that. Let's see what happens this time. Ooh, that's something. That's something. Wants to run. You see, the accelerator pump on this car doesn't seem to be doing anything. That son of a gun's gonna run. Actually sounds pretty good for having no headers. Or not exhaust, has headers. Let's check the oil real quick. Ooh. So you need the port. Nope. Nope, we're good. Where are we? Need to add a quart of oil. Find some 1540. The old carb. I thought I was having an issue. It was the carb, so I put that other carb in there. That wasn't the issue. It was the timing was, or my distributor was way off. Like the actual, it was pointing to number 1.
Whoa, a little fumey out here though, huh?
Oh yeah.
At least it's not smoke.
I had one floating around. Just got a gauge in there if you want to look at it or fire it and keep it running for a sec. I can see it's building some because it's coming out of it's coming through the hose. But don't drop the camera. It's not even on, so don't worry about it. It's the bottom right on the gauge cluster. Bottom right on the gauge cluster. Is that 0 to 60 or something? Yeah. 40, 50, something like that. Cool.
Sweet.
It runs. No exhaust. I can see flames coming out of the header. That just means it's cool, right? That's an exhaust speaker. Oh, that's cool. Sounds like something, don't it? Sounds good when it has no exhaust.
Yeah.
Thanks for the help.
Cool. Cool beans.
About time. I don't even see any. I don't see no leaks. Oh, leaking transmission fluid out of something. I think. Out of my. Looks like I need a new drain plug. Alright, well, here's what it is. Freaking out a drain plug on the transmission, but it's whatever. Get a new plug. Sweet. Nice thing to get a drive shaft and brakes.
Think for a cruise.
And a radiator, but you know. Never heat. Got a camera on. Well, it runs. That's awesome. It's a huge motivator in any project when you finally get it to run for the first time. Timing's not adjusted at all, just initial. The carb's not adjusted at all. There's no fuel system, so it was really just to make sure the engine, which is unknown, was healthy and ran okay. No funny noises, and it seems to be okay. It had 50 pounds of oil pressure, and my dad's sitting over there in the bench seat. Didn't hear anything out of the ordinary. I do have a transmission leak from the, looks like the drain plug is leaking, but I think it's just the seal, the gasket, which I'll fix. No big deal, that's easy peasy. But once I get a fuel system and some cooling, actually try to get this thing to run on its own properly. But this was just like I said, just to see if the engine was good, and it seems to be, which is great. If you guys liked the video, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think. I'm always trying to improve these videos. Everything's on a budget, so it is what it is. But yeah, catch you guys later for the next one. Peace.